It's gravelly because we're on $5 headphones.
That's how I've always wanted to sound. So
back
on the subject of gaming with artists, I actually did do a Discord thing where I had the Hill Country Devil play Apex Legends with me, and for the third person, we were letting people in the Discord just hop on. It mostly consisted of us running around, not doing very good, and then him dying as soon as we saw anybody.
And then Hayden probably cursing.
Yeah, more like me cursing at him, because I take it very seriously. I'm a serious gamer.
Believe
we
it.
should have done
to
this
never
in
play
Discord.
games with you guys.
Yeah, don't play it unless we're playing like Ultimate Fishing. I have a Dreamcast at home. Sega Fishing.
Holy shit, that was a great game.
That was pretty good.
I have that one, dude. You guys should come over.
You had a Dreamcast?
I had a friend with a Dreamcast. Yeah, we ought to.
Only if you have Shenmue, Sonic Adventures,
I have it,
and Taxi.
And I have it. I have all three.
Dang.
Okay,
Sounds like a fucking weekend.
Invite accepted.
All right, I'll see you guys soon. Why don't we get started then with what we came here to do today, which was not game, unfortunately, although next time we should do this in Discord and we should do it in Red Dead Redemption. But this time, we'll just do it on a phone call, and I'll put some footage of us in the metaverse or something. We have questions from Patreon supporters, right? So I have a list of them, and we're gonna answer them, or we're gonna try. Is that right?
Fire away.
That's right.
Okay, here we go. This question is from Hunter Harris. Okay, I'm a bad host. First of all, let me say, for anybody that doesn't know, my name is Anthony. I'm here from GemsOnVHS, live from the HQ with my friends here from WesternAF. Introduce yourself, guys.
Well, my name is Mike Panada. This is the second time I've tried to do this whole podcast thing, and the first one did not work out well. So thank you for this redemption piece here, Anthony.
Yeah.
and I am a co-creator of WesternAF, currently residing in the big beautiful Laramie, Wyoming.
And I am Brian Harrington, the other part of WesternAF, the one that hides out and nobody knows.
Yeah, well, we're breaking you out. You're like a cryptid. We're breaking you out now. You're like Bigfoot with a mythical sighting. But don't worry.
It feels good.
It would be really, really reaching to call this a podcast. I'm thinking I'm just going to upload this as raw, maniac, psycho energy audio to whatever platform. This is just for the lovers of all things. So feel free to say anything you want. But
hello, lovers.
yes, feel free to say it to the questions first. So I'll do the first one. Here we go. Hunter Harris asks, what is the best way to get into the industry? Do either of y'all offer internships? Ooh.
So is he referring to the industry like what we all do?
It looks like we had a follow-up question asking what he meant. I guess I'd call it the folk music documentation industry. The folk music, big folk, as we call it, and where the artists reaching out to you tell their story, or were you reaching out to the artist? I guess that's a follow-up question. So yeah, I guess he's talking about documenting music. How do you get into this industry? We'd have to define what this industry really is. So many different things, isn't it?
Yeah, very much. How did we get into this, Brian?
I think for us, it was a lot of just making the things we wanted to make, like spending a ton of time shooting videos with, we started with our friends and any musician that would sit down with us. And, at this point, the musicians oftentimes come to us or at least say yes to us more often. But, I think more than anything, it's just doing the work. For us, it was doing the work and then finding friends like you, Anthony, that helped us along the way, Yeah.
Yeah, that was always sweet of you, Tony. I appreciate that. I mean, I remember doing some of this stuff as early as high school, and didn't find anything like we had a broadcast journalism class, and I just found out shooting my friends, crazy punk bands were a lot more fun than doing news stories about girls swimming or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think finding like that niche of what I enjoyed about filmmaking was doing stuff with musicians, and
Yeah.
I did that in college for a bit too. Actually, Brian's brother Patrick was a singer-songwriter, and we lived in the same dorms, and that's where I met Brian and his brother. And he used to go to open mic nights or play little shows, right? In the where do you go play shows at? In the cafeteria or something?
Like coffee shops.
Yeah,
and
or
shit,
coffee
yeah.
shops. Yeah, and I remember
In
filming
the
those.
cafeteria. I think they did have shows in the
Well,
cafeteria.
yeah, and I remember filming those and then never doing anything with them.
Right,
Which
right.
was like 2 or 3 years of my career was like filming all of these like musicians at the college, or like stuff with Jalon, and I never even edited or got it done because I was just so hard on myself and what I wanted to do. But overall, yeah, I felt a passion for it pretty early. So if you have a passion for it, it's just all. Is it good to say downhill or uphill? It's downhill, right? Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah.
A smooth
it's like
ride
walking through a meadow.
downhill.
I don't know, some people like going uphill, I guess. I think that's their
Yeah,
thing.
it's like some ups, some downs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tony, man,
two ways to twist your ankle.
Tony, I bet you have better insight than us on this one, though.
Well, I do live in Industryville. I live in Nashville, so it was kind of it's an easy doorway to enter here, just because you're surrounded by it. Everybody's in the music industry, in some way or form, or is the son or daughter of somebody in the music industry. So it was always
Right.
funny growing up like that. People's parents are like play in famous bands or own a studio or like are a deadbeat musician or whatever they are, like so that was easy. I think I was the same. I was always into filming and like I was always into music, just naturally drawn to that. And as far as like the folk music documentation industry, I really loved Alan Lomax, and I just kind of followed that thread to its logical conclusion, and I would go around filming my friends that I thought were really good, and somebody thought they were good too. It was great, and if not, whatever. But that was kind of my intro to it. I know a lot of people get into filming through like doing videos of their friends skateboarding was a popular one. I feel like that's
Totally.
everybody's entry. Everybody had those
Totally.
big cameras. I also, it's funny. I got a letter in the mail the other day from this kid, the official bard of Baldwin County, an artist out in, I think he's in Georgia. But he reached out to me and he just sent me this really nice letter saying like, thank you guys, and he wouldn't have gotten started on his career in college that he's going on right now doing anthropology if it hadn't been for finding our videos and finding Willie Carlisle and finding, which I'm sure he found through you guys, and finding Alan Lomax. And, so it's like
Cool.
you find who inspires you and you just kind of follow that archetype, don't you? Archetype.
That's right.
And you just
Archetype?
You just try and live in their shadow, and make your shit kind of fit into the modern day version of what they were doing. I feel like, or what your contemporaries you like are doing. Folk music. I guess this question.
That's awesome.
This question must be from somebody too that like I guess it's different where it depends on where you live. I think there's a lot of people that want to get into this world, but they live in like the middle of nowhere. Do you think it's
Yeah, like
hard
Laramie,
to do that?
Wyoming or
Yeah,
some
right.
shit.
Do you think it's harder to do it? And you guys live in like such a weird place for music, I guess. Is there? I mean, I guess there's a rich music scene, but like, do you find it difficult in any way?
It definitely involves more traveling. I mean, I think we've lucked out in a lot of ways. So there, not to downplay the problems with the rural nature of some of it, but we just were making the work with the musicians we loved that were local, and being willing to sort of like throw everything in the car at the last minute and drive somewhere to shoot a video. To when the opportunity came up. So, we're middle of nowhere, but we're also we're 2 hours from Denver. So we're close enough to get into some of the stuff, but yeah, man, I think it's certainly different than your world.
Yeah.
Anthony, what was the video for you? This is a bit of an aside, but what was the video for you where you think you found the thing you liked about what you were working on? Did you have that moment of like, oh, that's the idea?
Like the videos that I do or the videos I saw?
Yeah. No, the one you shot where you were like, oh, this is where my creative path is going to go. Did you have that moment?
Yeah, it's really funny. I kind of like the video style has not changed very much since like 2012.
Right.
You can really go all the way back to like the first video on the channel, and it kind of looks a lot like videos that I do now. Like it's just
right.
The formula is very similar. Although there are like ones that I've done that are newer that I'm like, oh yeah, it's really clicking more now. As far as what I mean, it's always changing, right? Like what you want to do. But there are videos that I've done that I'm like, oh yeah, this is a perfect example of what I want to do. I think
Totally.
the Hill Country Devil Glory video is really good, where like it's kind of following him in a moment of his life, and it looked you got a little B-roll at the beginning that really tells the story.
Right.
And I had a couple videos with him that tell his story from not beginning to end, but the beginning of that to later, and I love following people like that. And I think
it's funny you pick that
few.
video, the Glory video, because that was the one of your videos that I saw that I like really. I had that same moment with your work, but with the Glory video of like, oh, I see what he's doing. This is really cool, and it was that video for sure.
Thank you, man.
So
I'm glad
yeah,
it's shown through. So yeah. Well, let's move on to the next. Let's move on to the next question.
Yeah, we'll be here all day.
Did somebody just crack open a beer?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I snuck away so I can get another.
I need to do the same, but now the truth is really going to come out, isn't it? All right. Ready, guys? Here we go.
Truthier and truthier.
Hannah Peters asks, what is the best way to advertise my music and book shows? I don't know what a book show is, but like I'm just gonna give like the most the broadest answers here. Like, what's the best way to advertise? What's the best way to advertise? What do you guys think? Especially music, obviously we can answer that, but just a thing in general. Right. I feel like the answers can be kind of similar.
I think and I think I could speak for you for this, Brian, too. It's like I think that's been the most beneficial thing, like with anything in art, is having a community around you. So I think going out there and singing at your local honky tonk or your dive bar or something is the best advertising you can give yourself. And then as far as booking shows and stuff like that, I think when you have that confidence around your community and your friends and everything, and people are giving you proper advice about that, it's just going for it after that. Because I think everybody sees now there's this proper network on social media that's easy to find, the proper bars to go to play your music at. So at least after that, or just touring your state or even your county is is a great way to start. I think with everything, like Brian and I love Wyoming so much, and we want to live, work, and play here for the rest of our lives. But since it took care of us, we want to take care of it. So if you take care of your community, they'll take care of you.
Community. Yeah, I like that answer. I think that people need to like build a community, need to like really facilitate by helping others, right? Like nobody wants to be in a community where all you do is advertise your shows. All you do is talk about your shit. Like, oh, check out my release, check out my book show, check out my music. If you do that all day, people can smell that from a mile away. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just advertise. And look at all the free shit that we give away. You know what I mean? Like, the YouTube videos and all of the content and everything that we release, that's all free, right? Like, there's ways to support us, Patreon, but it's very we're giving we're giving it all away for free because you got to do that so that it's not advertising. It's like that's what she asked what the best way to advertise is, and I just say like ideally you want to be building something to the point where you're not advertising it. You're just showing people what they already really, really want to see, you know, and they want to support you because you supported them. That's the other thing. It definitely is building a community. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Next, Jonathan Zook. Mr. Zook asks, I'm sure it's been asked a lot, but I've wondered about your mic technique, gear, and mixing. Well, it has been asked a lot, but I've been keeping it close. No, I haven't really. I always tell people what the gear is. I don't really care. But, well, one, because I think that, like, the gear matters so little. Like, I just think that if you have an iPhone, you're set. Go make something incredible. But as far as gear goes, I'm going to make technique is more important for sure. And I'm going to be making a master class eventually. Not an official master class, because I'm like, don't know who those people are. But I'm going to make my own master class. They probably trademarked that, but I'm going to make one anyway. And I'm going to sell
we're about
it.
to get this taken down off the internet for a copyright
Cease
claim.
and desist. What about you guys?
Yeah.
What is your techniques for miking, gear, and mixing?
Oh, it's hiring a good sound recordist.
Is that what you do?
Well, a lot of our mixes are, well, let's just say this. All the audio and all the other videos are arranged. They change all the time. Like, especially like during COVID, like I was on the road and went and did this all by myself, and I had to have a little bit of a learning curve and kind of fumble and tumble a little bit just to try and do audio, at least to the point of like, making it sound a little bit decent. But anyways, I give full credit to like all the people that have worked with us. Like, hey, I hear a beer cracking.
Reeve, say hello to the boys and with WesternAF and all the patrons.
It's beer 30 in Wyoming, boys.
What's up? It's Reeve. Reeve's here.
What's up?
All right.
Who is it?
He brought me a nice cold drink. My boy Reeve, man, the man behind the computer.
Oh, what's up, Reed?
He helps me.
What a
what's
sweetheart.
Yeah.
And brings beer.
He brings
Good-
beer
Good guy.
when I'm stuck in the chair talking to you guys, and
Yeah, tough life.
Sorry.
Reed, you want to come work for Western as fuck?
So
Are you
yeah,
asking
we've
me
got a
or
couple.
him?
Oh, I asked Reed
Sign
because we
me
want
up,
somebody to
dude.
bring us beer.
Hey, I'll
So
bring you
we've
guys
got.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, cool. We've got a guy that's been around. So Will Ross is one of our audio guys that's been around since the beginning of the channel. As soon as like kind of when it started in earnest. But did the audio for that cowpoke video that folks mostly know us for, and has been around most everything. And then we've got another guy that helps us fairly often named Curtis Harnish. So yeah, we do our best to hack through the mic setups and those sort of things, and then we turn over sort of iffy audio to those guys. And there's a few others, Ben Slater, a few other folks that plug in, but largely we turn over kind of spotty audio, and they make it sound a whole lot better. And at times we're able to convince them to come out and actually record with us.
Right.
But they've been really good teachers too.
Yeah.
So we're starting to get a little bit better in the area as far as doing this on our own. But we actually, if we could, and we could afford it, we'd bring if any, like sound recorders with us. It also just takes off a load of stress. But I think you told me, Tony, that you do this all by yourself, which is fucking baller.
Yeah,
It's wild.
I thought I was gonna say that it must cost a good amount to do that. It's tough,
It is kind of tough, but like.
but it's worth it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have a team with you.
Yeah.
And we're such visual people that having that audio portion off our plate is so helpful in just being able to, sort of find the shots and not thinking on that.
I'm actually I've always done the audio myself, for better or worse. Or there's been like a few occasions where I've hired somebody to come on, or we had like me and Tim would be shooting, so one of us would be handling the audio more. Usually it's a team effort. I kind of fell into it because I was definitely more on the video side, but lately I've been like getting way more into mixing and way more into like audio and learning about it. because I've lived in Nashville so long. I've seen all these studios. All I'm learning is that anybody can do it, first of all, and a lot of it's very subjective. It's all about having good taste. It's kind of just the same as video. Like if you have bad taste, you can even if you know everything in the world about audio mixing and about technique, if you have bad taste, you can make trash. And you can make something great sound like trash. There are little techniques for sure that somebody can take audio into post and like do a miracle on it and like fix it. But a lot of that stuff too is just presets from like all kinds of plugins. It's just knowing what plugins to use. You got too much hiss in this air conditioner, de-esser. And they just fix it. It's kind of amazing what can be done.
At least what I've noticed. Sorry, go ahead, Tony.
Oh no, go on. Finish that thought.
Oh, I mean, at least what I noticed, like, all this stuff is like it's all a craft. Like, and if you can utilize that craft and learn at least the basics, and then after that, that's when heart comes in.
Yeah, learn the basics.
It's like what we do with like, visually. Like, I assume we all like our work. I'm a little bit harder on myself than most people, but exactly, or you gotta check that ego. But then what I love now, seeing like working around my buddy Will and Curtis and Ben, is that they do give heart into it, and to capture that audio, and it's a whole nother love language for me in understanding that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I see what they do, and they're it's baby making music, seeing them work, man. It's amazing.
Well, I find that a lot of people say that they like my recordings better than the album recordings sometimes, which I think for some part of it is just that was the first thing they heard a lot of times, so they're just kind of biased. But for other people, I think there really is a desire for the route of production, like producer-wise, that I bring to the table with it, like my vision for it. It's like acoustic. It's the type of music that I always liked listening to. Like I like listening to music that has flubs in it. Like I want it to be raw. I want it to be acoustic. I want it to be impromptu. I want it to be real. And that's kind of what I like capturing. I want to be a studio record producer one day, in a way, not like I want to make it in my way. But I'm kind of like going in that direction with it. Like one day I would love for an artist to reach out to me and just be like, hey, I want you to produce my record. And then I could bring my taste to it. I guess we're not really giving this guy, Mr. Zook, the technical here or there with it. But yeah, that's the direction I'm trying to go in. We're all using the same stuff.
Well, no, and like you actually gave the best advices there is like I honestly we should start saying to people, stop asking us. Just you're right, you have a goddamn iPhone. You could put that in somebody's shirt pocket and record off of there, and that's going to give you something proper. Yeah, no, and I've done that too. That's saved to shoot.
Yeah.
And so it's what you get out of the artist after that character, and hopefully the levels are fine.
It's about the content.
That really counts.
Yeah,
exactly.
If you get clean levels,
get it. Yeah.
That's it. We all use lavalier mics. I know for what we do now.
Yep.
That's something that I got into, and I know we're all into Zoom recorders. You got to have a portable recorder to do this kind of stuff, unless you want to be glued to a computer. I've had audio engineers that I've hired. It's so funny because it's so different between audio engineers, like what they'll bring out. And I've had audio engineers bring out like actual fucking racks of gear. You know what I mean? Like they roll out a rack. I tell them where I want to record, and some people will just be like, "There's no way, man." They'll just be so incredulous that I'd ask. Like they'd be like, "Why don't you just bring it to the studio?" And I'm like, "Because we want to film at the Kmart or whatever." You know what I mean? And it's like they just don't understand. They don't have the expertise in that kind of gear. But luckily, I've kind of figured out what gear works for us, and it's portable Zoom recorders. Other companies make that kind of stuff. Sennheiser, we ended up getting a cool partnership with them, and they gave us some AVX and wireless recorders. I love wireless. I don't like being wired. You guys use wireless as well, right? Use the G3s or
yeah,
G4s?
Yep, G4s.
We're actually on them right now. Hopefully they sound good. Well, there's one of them's a G3, one of them's a G4.
Yeah.
You know, and I will say too, and I'm not trying to sell our buddy Will down here, but Will like always like kind of brings too much shit to the shoot, but it's honestly a godsend because he always says, he's like, you never know, man, like if I'm gonna have to do something different. No, it's like, or somebody's like, oh yeah, we thought we were doing solo and now we're doing a 7-piece fucking band.
Exactly.
And Will's like, don't worry, I brought 7 mics.
Yeah.
Talking about technique, man, that's a big part of it. It's just like, and dude, half of the battle, isn't it George Washington said half of the battle is just showing up? No, that wasn't him. I'm lying.
Right.
That was a joke. But
Yeah, pretty sure.
somebody
Yeah.
said that, and it's like, it really is true.
And they were smart.
A lot of it is just getting something usable. Like, you don't have to have something incredible. It's just like, is it usable? And do you have enough
I think
mics
George
to
Washington
capture
said,
all
I'm too drunk to taste this chicken.
I think that was it. All right, should we move on to the next question? Are we there? Do you think we really just
Yeah.
nailed that?
Oh, I mean, I guess really quick, yeah. Like if you can get some good Sennheiser mics, those are always
Do that.
awesome.
We
And
use,
a Zoom recorder.
We use ear trumpet condenser mics as well.
Oh yeah, those are
for
fantastic.
sort of like room mics, or if we're in a quiet spot that's suitable, we use ear trumpet a decent amount as well.
I think anybody starting with a condenser is going to make magic. But what I like about our videos is that we try to all hide the magic, which is
True, yeah. I
what
don't
makes
like
those
it
kind of
being
stand
in it.
out to me.
I don't like it being in the
Yeah.
shot. I think it kind of makes the artist stay in one spot too much and think about, like,
It's a pain in the ass to
I don't
shoot
want them
around
to have
too.
to think. Yeah, I don't want to shoot over it for one, and two, I don't want them to have to think about it. Like, I'd rather them just be like, oh yeah, the mic's on you, you can barely feel it, now just play the song, you know? Not like, hey, stand in this exact spot, don't move, it's got to be right into this device. Like, no, I don't like that. Also,
Right.
I'm learning how to mix on YouTube, so there you go. YouTube has everything
Yeah.
you need.
Hell yeah.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
All hail YouTube University.
All right, Josh Collins, have you ever thought about recording at a house show? I don't know if you guys know Mr. Collins. He's a great guy. He has house shows at his house. I'm sure that's why he's asking. And have you guys ever thought about that?
I mean, it sounds like we're getting invited to
Oh.
a house show, so maybe we should consider it.
For sure, you should.
Yeah, we're starting to do a little more live recording.
Yeah.
But we haven't done a house show yet. I'm sure we will at some point.
Yeah, I mean, and I think we're trying to do something exciting coming up in October, where hopefully we're going to do like a showcase featuring some of the artists from the channel. Yeah, and I mean that's I guess it's going to be kind of like our first attempt at like some kind of house show or something like that. So
Right.
yeah, I mean I love house shows like more than anything because that was generally like what the like Laramie scene was for a long time. Was just a bunch of guys that had a big ass living room and could move the couches around fast enough and had also sound equipment and also had places for the bands to crash. But Laramie parties here where they hosted like music was a bomb ass time.
Yeah, I really
Bomb-ass.
like house shows,
make fun of
and
my
I actually have a
bomb-ass.
bunch of live recordings that don't kind of fit in the mold of Gems releases, and I want to make them into their own kind of series. I got a bunch of recordings from the show that we threw at the office here. I got a bunch of
Hey.
random live
I
recordings.
wanted to hear about that, Tony. How did it go?
Yeah, it went great. Everybody always talks about us throwing a festival, and I don't think that they know how much that would cost.
Yeah.
And like, it's all cool. I would love to do that and like have all the fans out and just have it be the dream scenario. But it's like, at the end of the day, I'm sure you guys can relate. We're filmmakers, not festival throwers, and so I would have to hire the festival thrower. And at some point, I'm just like lending out the name, the brand, to somebody to throw a lineup of artists together, and it might as well just be anything. I mean, there's like 1,000 festivals that are basically just taking the YouTube channel's roster and like booking them all. So, like, I don't know. I would love to throw a festival one day, but for now, I really enjoy throwing house shows, man. I want to do more like that. Throwing shows is hard work, though. It is really, really stressful. I'm not a huge fan. I've done a ton since I was like a teenager, and they've never been bad. Like, I've never had a bad show. I've thrown shows with the Hill Country Devil and Spitshine, the Lost Dog Street bands, plus Shannon and Nicholas, and historic shows, and it was incredible. I've never had a bad show, but you're always like super stressed out until it's going well on the day of, for me anyway. So it's never worth all the stress a lot of times. That's how it went, though.
Yeah, I hear you. Well,
That's cool, man.
I'm glad it went well. You guys had a stellar lineup there, and awesome to see that like happen at the office and everything, and all the people were crowded there.
It's also finding venues, man. Out here, venues are like really hard to book, and I bet that's another great thing about being a big fish in a small pond like you guys are out there. I bet you have better relationships with the businesses, with people that, people probably want to work with you guys. Whereas out here, it's like they're just so jaded to everything, and everything costs money, and they just want so much from you because there's so much competition.
Yeah, I mean, I think in a lot of ways, Laramie has a pretty scrappy economic picture, generally. But yeah, I mean, I think just through Mike and I being the sort of people we are, the way we've used our channel to share local music, we built our channel on this idea that if you bring good music in, it'll take good music out with it. So in a lot of ways, we've sort of kept Laramie as a center or Wyoming, I guess, more broadly, and the Mountain West, kept that as really like the center of one of the things we want to make sure our channel keeps doing. And so, yeah, I mean, that does keep the hope is that it keeps folks excited about what you're doing and willing to help when they can. And then, yeah, I mean, I think there are obviously, there's just less venues here than there would be in Nashville, right? So if there's one show in town tonight, the venue you're hoping for, may not be an option. So we're throwing this thing October 8th at the theater. Our studio is in a building that has a pretty large theater attached. And, we had to sort of plan around the wide variety of things they host there to try to find a date. And then because it's a smaller town, we had to plan around the university's football schedule and things like that. So funny. Like, you don't want to pile too much into one weekend because there's just not the sort of like you can't find guests to come to your thing. So,
smaller pool of audience.
Yeah.
You guys know those Live from the Divide?
Yeah, we work with those folks every so often.
Yeah, love them, man. So cool. I want to do something out there one day.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Jalopy Theater in New York?
That rings a bell. Mike would be like, yeah, of course. Well,
where's Mike?
Why? Mike walked to his computer because we have a video that goes live in 2 minutes.
Wait, who was he saying?
The Jalopy Theater.
Oh my God!
See, I don't know if you can hear Mike.
The Jalopy Theater people.
Oh, he's got his microphone, so you're.
I have my microphone, so you can hear me. The Jalopy Theater people are heaven sent.
He's going on and on.
Has he been? Mike, have you been to the Jalopy Theater in Brooklyn?
Have you been to it, Mike?
No, I'm going to it in October.
He's going in October, so apparently Mike's missing our show.
Yeah, he's missing your show.
No, not October 8th. I'll be going afterwards.
It's so great. As far as like the dream goes, man, I would love to have a building where we have, they have it so set up. They are so cool. They got like, you walk in and it's a bar, right? It's the regular bar and restaurant. And then next door is this tiny little theater room that is so cool, and then upstairs they have lesson rooms, and then upstairs of that the guy lives there, and it's just so sick. Like, I would love to have a Gems on VHS HQ like that one day. That's dream.
Cool.
Yeah, we would love to do that too. Hey Brian, tell them a little bit about like how we what we use our office for too.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, we keep our space. We just have like a relatively small office ourselves, but we use it for we just kind of keep it as an open house for bands. There's like weekly jams in our office.
That's
on
fostering
Sunday
community.
evenings. One
man.
of the Yeah, I mean, we try to keep it at every level of what we're up to, right? Like community over competition always. So yeah, one of the guys that shares in the space with us, he's a guitar player, mandolin player, plays in just a pile of bands, but he teaches lessons here, and then he hosts a jam and all sorts of stuff, and keeps it pretty active. It does mean that we have to like stop and edit randomly at 3:30 because he has a lesson or something like that, but who cares, right?
But we love working with him.
Yeah,
we
and
love
who
it.
wants
So,
to be editing anyway?
That's right. Like you could listen to music instead. So
I love that, man.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that. Yeah, I wish I had a bigger room. I'm actually consolidating right now and moving. I'm like sitting in the empty office room.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm moving into the other room that we have, and I'm just gonna have one room. Kind of sad in that way. I wish I could. And again, Nashville is just so overcrowded and like just expensive right now that it just doesn't make sense
Sure.
to get into that market, and it's hard to find
totally.
places to rent, and it's hard to find but one day I would love to have like a space that really thrives with the community like that.
And there's some like financial risk with that, right? Like if you do that sort of thing, you have to start thinking on, you lose a little bit of the freedom of just doing what you want with your art,
Yeah,
and you instead are
exactly.
chasing dollars all the time. So you can,
That's it.
and then you're running a bar, then you're running like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
subleased space.
You gotta find partners, man.
you're
You gotta
doing-
find partners.
Yeah, you're doing a lot less filming, that's for sure.
Okay, so we got so far off of this
Yeah.
question, Mr. Collins. Yes, we've thought about recording at a house
Yes.
show. Next,
Yes. Yeah.
Hope Barry asks, good books on old-time Appalachian music. Now, this one I have no good answer for. No, I should have done a little research on this before. I have a couple books that I like.
I mean, same.
I want to read. I really want to read all of the Lomax books that he put out, like Land of the Blues Began, and all that. Those aren't really Appalachian. I don't know. I don't read too many. When I read for pleasure. I don't really read for research that much right now. So I'm reading like right now. I'm reading Dark Emu, a book about Aboriginal people in Australia and their culture.
Nice.
So yeah, I don't know. Like, I love reading all kinds of books, but I'd have to look at my shelf. My shelf actually has a ton of books. I'll have to get back to you, Hope. You guys got anything out in Wyoming about Appalachia?
No, but
Nope.
since
Nope.
we're on Australia,
Hold
Tony,
on, we're
did
gonna
you
have
try?
more from
Did you
Australia.
try? Oh wait, did you try emu or eat crocodile? Because I totally tried emu and crocodile last year, and it's amazing.
I tried kangaroo.
Oh, and kangaroo, fucking delicious.
Yeah, it was chicken parm with kangaroo on it.
There's
Yeah.
there's your answer.
Yes, that's the answer that I have for you, Hope. No, I'll get back to you, Hope. I got to look at my bookshelf. I know I have some books on Appalachian music. I forget what they are right now. Callum Liask asks, do you guys still shoot some/any of your videos on VHS? Love your recordings. I assume this question is for me, unless you guys have been shooting on VHS secretly.
Not us.
We shoot ours on 35 millimeter film,
That's
in
beautiful.
a stock that hasn't existed for a while, which is actually a dream of mine. And Brian hates it every time I bring it up, but I would love to shoot a video.
Oh, there's just stress to film.
I know, but it would look so gorgeous.
Look, man, I'm anxious.
No shit, you're anxious, but I'm anxious too.
Maybe
We
one
have different
day
anxieties.
you'll get there.
Hey, let's drink another beer.
Yeah, let's have more beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. I actually have never shot. I mean, I've shot on VHS before, but it sucks. It's like a terrible format. So I've been shooting a lot of my videos on mini DV camera lately, and mini DV is actually really cool. And these cameras that I got for it are really handy. They're handy cams. They're actually called handy cams.
Yeah,
And they
right.
rock. Like I'm actually starting to shoot more of our stuff on. I want to mix it with the 4K ultra awesome footage, and just have like mini DV footage sprinkled in. That's kind of the new format I'm going for. So, yeah, it's kind of cool.
Cool.
Well, Tony, I always had a question. Did you did you when you shoot that that kind of lo-fi footage and stuff like that? Has that been on VHS or was that mini DV?
That's all mini DV.
Most of the time. Mini DV. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's where I started shooting on tape, and that God, it gives me like PTSD, reminding myself everything you had to do, because you filmed it and you hoped you did press record for one, and then you have to go and track it and then log it and uploaded it all. God, that was such. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah,
It's so,
I like mini DV.
I'm
it's
so
still
impressed that you
digital.
did that.
Yeah, well, it's easy with the FireWire. I just plug it in and it plays and records on the computer. I got a pretty good setup for it. But yeah, VHS would be a nightmare. It's really, VHS just looks bad too. I don't really want to do that.
Yeah,
Next.
I mean, it has its thing. Go ahead. Oh, sorry.
Next. What's next? Let's keep
Thanks for
moving.
keeping this going.
Tyler Emery asks, perhaps I've missed it, but where's the love for California's folk music? Let me know if you'd like to be pointed in the right direction. What a way to word that, Tyler. Never a man to miss a chance to promote his state. What's up? I blame WesternAF, personally.
I mean, we did plant a flag on the West here, so I guess that's on us.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about, because we've actually had plenty of
Yeah,
California
we did. Mike
folk.
did a trip mid-COVID through, shot with Sean Hayes, some folks like that.
And I think there's some of our artists that are secretly Californians, and I can't address that right now.
They don't want to scream, "I'm from California."
Yeah,
But,
the
uh,
great Exodus.
Shamed. Yeah.
Yeah, but as somebody that is, shamelessly originally from California, I love California's
No
music.
way, that's
and
you?
I would love to come out there.
That's
Yeah,
Mike.
this is always, for some reason, it might be my attitude or mannerisms. Everyone always thinks I'm originally from Wyoming. But
Because you shit talk California.
because I do shit talk California. I kind of put it out there like an
Whoa,
open
dude.
target, like, okay, go ahead and ask me.
It's like you point and say like, look at over there, and then nobody looks at you.
Like, it's all in good fun.
It is.
Tyler's
I-
gonna be really mad.
Yeah. Unsubscribe.
Sorry,
Not to me,
Tyler.
to you.
yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. Don't unsubscribe to Gems.
But Tyler should shoot us an email with some California folks that we should shoot with.
Yeah,
for sure.
shoot us an email,
that never
Tyler.
hurts.
I did some
Never
videos in
hurts.
California. I went to Santa Monica, right? Is that the one up north?
I don't know anything about California geography. There's a desert in the
my
south,
God.
and there's a forest in the north.
I think
This
it was,
is the Californian.
I gotta hold on. I gotta look at Google Maps. It was with Jesse Daniel. I was in
Sure.
up north, and I did some videos with Jesse Daniel. He's a world-renowned Californian.
I love Jesse Daniel. That man
He's
has a
good
heart of
dude,
gold.
man. Good dude. Hold on, I gotta find out where this town is, dude.
What's better? What's better than gold?
Oh, it was
Like
called
platinum?
Ben.
No.
It's Santa Cruz, and he was in Ben
Unicorn
Lomond.
tears.
He's from he was living in Ben Lomond, and yeah.
Oh,
so
hip.
We did some cool stuff up there. So yeah, look up those videos. Those are California
rad.
videos on Gems. Also, Tim was just out there and filmed Cinderwell, who's pretty cool. She was in California. I'm trying to get out there and film Mary Sue. I love Mary Sue. She's really good. Anyway,
I'd love to film Cinderwell. We've talked of her in the past, but I will say before we go on to the next
Yeah.
thing, Desiree Cannon and Michaela McVeigh are two Californians. Oh, and Trey Burt,
Yeah.
who
yeah.
was officially not a Californian anymore. I just learned. He's
Nashvilleian.
actually moving to Nashville.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
here.
Nashvilleian.
Is that what y'all are called as Nashvillians?
Yes.
Nashvillans?
Yes, he is a
I would have.
Nashvilleian.
We tried to get Trey to move to Wyoming, but
No.
you know what? It just didn't work.
Nobody wants to.
We've got him.
Yeah,
He's
nobody
ours.
move here. Ah,
So yeah, I did another video with a Californian. So yeah, I don't know. I'm always like,
There you go. Well,
Look,
let's get more.
no offense to Tyler, but I'm always a little annoyed when somebody's like, oh, I guess he said in the first sentence, perhaps I've missed it. But it's so funny because I feel like people will comment on my stuff all the time and be like really upset about like something that they're completely unaware of. They'll be like,
Yeah.
somebody the other day commented on something we posted and was like, when you guys, they were like really mad at me about Arkansas. Like I went to Arkansas and they were like accusing me of like having missed out and that I had a meetup and nobody and I did a no-show, and I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I met a bunch of people in Fayetteville, had a meetup, it was awesome, you just weren't there. And it's just stuff like that. You're just like, people cannot keep up with all the stuff we do. We do too much. That's the problem.
That's it, man.
Sounds like a bunch of sassy people.
Yeah, there's a lot to follow, right?
There's a lot to follow. I know.
But Tyler should send us some shit.
Tyler
should send us some stuff. It never hurts.
Never hurts.
Send us a message on MySpace, Tyler.
Yeah. So next,
Mike's most active social.
I'm on. I'm actually a. Oh my God, what was the Google one?
Plus.
I'm a Google
Wasn't
Plus
it Google Plus?
influencer. Mick
The last
asks,
one.
when is WesternAF merch going to be available to Australians? I've got my
Brian.
Gems t-shirt.
Okay.
I want a Western as fuck one too. Cheers, Mick.
Yeah, okay, Mick, this is fair criticism. This is fair. I'll accept it.
What the hell's going on, guys?
Look, man, it's just one more thing to do, but I do want to do it, so I'm going to just commit to getting it done when we're done recording this. So by the time Mick hears it, he's going to be able to buy a shirt.
What do you need to do?
And get it. I literally just need to add it to the website as an option and put on how much it costs. So like when I say one more thing to do, I'm not saying it's a big thing to do, but it's a thing to do.
Are you guys shipping out the shirts yourselves?
Dude, we do everything in-house. We print our shirts, we ship, package, everything is happening in-house with just these two idiots sitting over here in a studio together.
Well, actually, you do all the merch, so you're the idiot.
That's why Mike's blaming me, because I do all the
kind of
shipping.
annoying,
So,
well, you do a great goddamn job.
You know what? Here's the
brother.
thing, Anthony. We wanted to be super nimble with it because we're doing these like small release shirts where we just hire, because like community, right? So we want to be able to spread a little of the love out to visual artists as well. So we're doing these like limited edition shirts. We've only done one so far, but we've got a second one coming. So we wanted to do these runs of, it might only be 25 shirts or something.
I would love to do that too.
Yeah, so if you ever want to team up on one, let us know.
Oh my God, we should do a duo shirt.
It'd be cool. We should.
The Western
for
Gems
the super
shirt.
fans, the Western Gems, and but I think part of that was we just had to get our operation up and running, and have our shit figured out enough that we could sort of make that a realistic thing, and so folks have hung out with us and waited a long time for shirts and shit, but we're getting it pretty well sorted out. So yeah, we're trying to do international shipping ourselves and stuff, so it means like I gotta go in the software, figure out what it costs to ship to Australia, and then get those shirts sold.
Yeah, that took us a while
Not
too.
hard, just a thing.
That took us a while, but also all of ours are drop shipped now.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's clever.
Yeah, I mean, we just I'm not a t-shirt person. It took us forever to get our first t-shirt made. People were asking. I finally was like, all right, I'm not a t-shirt designer, but I'm just gonna if we do it, I'm gonna make it so when you press the button, it just comes to your house. Like, I don't know, I don't want to think about it.
Right.
I would love to do it locally, and we did one run of them locally, and it was good. But I just don't have the space to have 100 shirts sitting in my office waiting to be sold. And we could do merch way better. If anybody listening to this wants to help me with merch, please let me know. Next.
Same.
I love Australia. I'm going to Australia again, hopefully, but I just got back from there. You guys like Australia? When are we going to go overseas?
Dude, yeah. Hey, will you take some shirts with you to Australia? There's some folks that are...
Yeah, you're going to pay for my extra bag. Yeah, they're going to stop me at immigration and be like, are you selling these?
Why do you have 75 t-shirts that are the same?
I like to look, I'm like Steve Jobs. I only wear WesternAF t-shirts. Dude, by the way, you guys should come to Ireland with me in October.
I mean, it depends on the day, right?
Check it out.
If it's not the 8th.
I'm there all month, and I rented an Airbnb all month. I'm going to be there in the same spot in Dublin all month. You got a place to stay.
Cool.
And you can come and hang out. That's it.
Well, that sounds fun.
All right.
I'm fucking down anytime, Tony. I just don't know if I'll be at that time.
All right. Well, you'll be in Ireland.
Yeah,
Didn't you commit to something else? Aren't you going to California?
Brian,
And
ABC,
New York.
brother. Always be cool.
Yeah. Oh, it was New York. This is why I run Mike's calendar.
Mike.
Just kidding.
next.
I don't run Mike's calendar.
You definitely do.
All right, guys. Collie Crawford says, "What's the meaning of life, and how does it tie back to Gems and Western AF's mission?"
Wow.
Always be cool.
ABC.
Oh yeah. Everything's built on ABC over here. Be good to folks. They'll be good to you.
I like that. Okay, yeah.
That ain't no meaning of life, but it's a good guiding principle.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, we are a little drunk right now.
I'm getting there. It's all good. We're busting through these questions. The people are learning.
Oh, you're
about
making
us.
it a race, Tony. Okay.
Yeah, we're racing through.
Mike is chugging beer actively.
People are learning a lot. No, I'd say the mission, man. It's all about connecting people through culture and showing a little bit of humanity through music, right? Putting it on a pedestal, maybe not a pedestal, but putting it on a platform, letting everybody see, man. I want to tell stories through music. I want people to, see something that they can relate to and get a little hope in life and feel good and or feel bad, whatever they need to feel about it, but just like to unite people and like bring people together through common music. That's what it's about for me anyway. Does that make sense? Unite
Hell
people
yeah.
through music.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Culture.
Oh, hell, man.
Yeah.
It's definitely like, a sentiment of mine of like why I love music so much, because it is a way of connecting with people, maybe even expressing yourself, and maybe people can kind of understand why you're that weirdo that, drinks like a couple beers at night. But overall, I'll hail that, man. Great answer.
I want people to. I just think music is such a powerful force. Like I think it's definitely saved my life, and I think it's saved a lot of people's lives. Like, and not just listening to it, which is great, but like playing it, and really. That's why this is a full 360 thing, man. That's why we started this Discord, and why we did all this stuff that involves the community, is because I think that everybody should learn to play music, even if it's not professionally. It doesn't need to be. You don't need to have a guitar and write songs and then like get famous. Like that is so pointless. It's about playing with your friends. It's about playing for yourself, even in your room, and just writing and progressing. And it's such a fulfilling feeling to learn an instrument and to learn an art. And even if you guys don't play, you can definitely probably relate to that with like learning your art of filmmaking.
Right.
Brian's actually a hell of a guitar player.
Brian,
Just not in front of anybody.
bedroom.
I'm like a
performer.
bashful guitar. That's right. Yeah, I mean, I think it's for me, right? Like
It
you
is.
were saying, it's about having creative outlet.
Yeah.
I write songs for my daughter sometimes because that's fun.
That's
so she
awesome.
gets to hear me, but I don't need to play in front of people. I got other outlets for.
I mean, it's
the
just
sort of
so
public-facing
fulfilling,
part
man.
of the art.
Yeah, I mean, it's
it's good.
And especially for modern day people, and especially let me just bear it all for a second. Especially for men, I think lately it's like, is it better to sit in your room and play video games all day, or to learn an art, and to learn something that you can progress at over time? And not to say that video games are bad, but like, there's so many. Or here's a better example: is it better to scroll on your phone for 17 hours a day, and learn the art of absorbing every TikTok, or is it better to learn an art, man, and have some kind of focus in your life and have an outlet for your feelings? That's another thing, like an outlet for your feelings that you can really put those feelings into and put it out into the world in a positive way. Even if you suck, like it's just for you, just something.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, for sure.
So that's where I'm at with it. That's what I think the mission is, to help people kind of find fulfillment.
Hell yeah.
Next, Paul Rapp. Oh, sorry, there was a follow-up to Collie's. By the way, Collie Crawford is in a band with Tyler Hood.
Oh, right on.
Collie's the man. And his other question is, are these projects for a limited time, or do you gents plan to continue documenting artists into your retirement years? I'm never retiring, Collie.
I mean, yeah, I'd say when you love what you do, you don't stop, right? That's the joy of the work we do. It doesn't pay well, but it doesn't feel as much like work, just like playing music or anything else, right? So
Yeah.
no plans to stop
Life's
until
about a
Mike
lot
and I
of
have a
different
breakup
things.
someday, really dramatic breakup.
Yeah.
We're breaking up.
No, we're not breaking up.
Oh.
I think
We still love each other.
life's about a lot of different things. You know, I got other hobbies, I got other interests. I'll probably do other work in the future, but this is a lifestyle for me. You know, it's like full 360 involvement. I'm into playing music, I'm into listening to music, and I'm into documenting it and telling stories. You know, and I don't think that'll ever stop. So, you know, I don't know. One thing I'm learning about time and careers and documentation and everything is like, the tools are going to change, the platforms are going to change, but the faces will come and go, but the gist of it never changes. The soul of it doesn't change, which is telling stories about people. That stays the same the whole time, and I'm always going to do that. And music is always going to be there. It's not going to disappear anytime soon. Success is going to come and go as well, but you know, it's about the art. It's just like playing music, man. Like, you don't just stop. It's something
Right.
that goes on. You know, it's ongoing, and it's learning, and it's progress, and it's evolving, but it's always there for you. So yeah, I don't plan on stopping.
Hell yeah, us too.
All hail. Yeah, there was.
All hail.
There's no plan B on this right now. I think I think we wanted to. I think this is, you know, it's just been really cool, like, to do this, especially with my friend Brian Harrington.
Yeah.
Who the first day I met, you know, I pretended I was an RA just so I could be friends with him. And how many years now?
I didn't even know what an RA was at this time.
Is it 15 years, Jesus? Has it been
Yeah,
that
dude,
long?
we're getting pretty old.
Oh my God, I can't believe I've known
Tell
you
me
that
this,
long.
Yeah,
guys.
it's cool.
If the Patreon went away tomorrow and the YouTube monetization disappeared, what would you do?
We would keep. So Mike and I both have side hustle jobs. We'd keep doing those. I mean, they're, you know, video and photo related, but we
Sure.
keep doing those. But we'd keep shooting. Like, this isn't going anywhere.
Yeah. So
You want another beer, babe?
If it all went away tomorrow, you'd still be shooting the artist, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to ever. Like, this is one of the most fulfilling things I've done creatively, and I think Mike would
Yeah.
probably say the same thing. Like, this is who cares? It's not, you know, the money's not enough, as you know, to make it about that. Right?
Yes.
This is about like the moment when a video you shoot helps somebody else make a living with their art.
That's right.
That's the coolest shit you could do, right? So
or helps
there's nothing more
people
fulfilling
that
than
watch,
those things.
Man. Gives people a real
That's
emotional
right. Yeah,
experience.
sure. Yeah, for sure.
And they love the story you told with it, man. That's what it's all about. And I
Yeah,
think
that's right.
I think I was doing it for 8 years before it ever made a dime. As far as like
Right, that's where we're at,
actual
too.
YouTube. Yeah, so it's, you know.
Yeah,
it's
we were like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't about it before, and it wouldn't be about it in the future. I'm always going to find a way to make a living in our capitalist hellscape, but that's not what it's about. So, you know, I think, like I said, it'll never stop. Next, Paul Rapp.
Next.
Paul Rapp asks, can you guys describe your process? Like, how long does it take you guys to film a video? Are we seeing one take with multiple cameras, or are we seeing a splice of a few different takes?
Could be anything on our end, at least. I'd say it changes sort of all the time, but one of the things that I think is pretty consistent for us is finding, you know, we find music we love and point our cameras at it, and then the musicians show up and bring the magic part to the whole thing. Sometimes that happens in one take and you shoot it and everybody's kind of quiet afterwards, and you know, like, that was the thing. That's as good as that's gonna get. You might be done. We typically try to shoot a couple takes.
Same.
I am notoriously bad at, my wife will tell you I'm notoriously bad at telling you how long this shit's gonna take, because I'm like, yeah, I need an hour and a half. And then like 3 hours later I come home. But usually it takes us a couple hours, and then, you know, a couple hours of pre-planning, of location scouting and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Usually, how long does it take you guys to film? Usually it's at least a half a day to like you got to imagine you're driving out to the spot, you're doing it all, and it depends. That could be like in another country, so it take all day. I don't know. Yeah, you can pretty much guarantee that it's going to take up your whole day to shoot one of these things. And then, are we seeing one take? Sometimes I got 2 cameras going, and I'm filming with both of them, and it's one take. Sometimes it's like, usually always I do more than one take, and I'll mix them together if I can in a way that seems seamless. You know, I've gotten pretty good at making it look like one take, although, well, I hope there's no examples of ones that you can tell that it's not one take. But anyway, are we seeing a splice?
Like the voice is just totally out of sync.
Yeah. I've never done that, hopefully, so there's no egregious examples.
Let's hope.
I go to painstaking
I think there's only
lengths.
been. Go ahead, Tony.
Oh, that was it. I go through painstaking lengths to make sure it looks like one take.
I think there's really only been one video up to date right now that we've ever shot with one take, and that was our first Kiki Cavazos video. And Kiki at that time was, she hadn't played music in maybe a couple years, and she was probably about 6 months pregnant. And she had the jitters. You could see it too. You're like, I had recently become a fan because of our mutual friend Chris Acker, who had introduced me to some of her songs through this band called Sundown Songs that a couple of people we know were in it once upon a time.
Yeah.
And just being blown away by all that music and thinking like, wow, I have somebody who I see as a legend right now in front of the camera, and I'm going to give it my all. And I don't know what you do, like as far as like holding the cameras or whatnot, but I handheld everything, and we even have like these gimbals that we hardly ever use. And I remember probably like, into a 4 or 5 minute song, just making sure that camera did not shake, just in case the other camera didn't work out. And we got one take, and it's still one of the happiest videos I have.
Wait, why did the other camera not work out?
Oh no, it's just in case. So my mindset a lot, I trust everybody around me to do their job, but I know things can happen, and so I know at least if I and I worry on my end too if like the technology is going to flub out or fail. Like I have definitely in the past like have been that guy where we're like, oh man, first take, that was great, we don't need to do another, and then I realized I wasn't recording. I'm like,
oh yeah,
and bullshit the situation, but at a point where I'm just like, oh yeah, that was great, looked awesome.
I do that all the time.
Let's do it one more time.
Yeah,
and you see, you get it, and but I think I didn't want to fail that one. I never want to fail on.
So you did one take.
I made sure. Did one take.
And you didn't ask for another one?
On a campfire up in Montucky. No, I didn't. I probably knew that I wasn't going to get one. And,
okay.
I think. I mean, seriously, like it's something to consider now. Like with some of these artists and legends you work with, that we're probably only ever going to get one take. So you kind of practice that with yourself.
Yeah, I always try to get
that's probably what we're going to get.
I did a video with Junior Brown?
No.
You don't know Junior Brown?
Junior Brown, Brian?
Oh my God.
No, we should know Junior Brown.
I mean, thinks you're dead. He's like the guy who plays the slide guitar that is also a regular guitar, like the double guitar neck thing. It's like this crazy dude that plays really crazy rockabilly thing. Anyway, filmed him one day. He's like 80 years old or something. I don't know. But he was like, he played the song once, and I was like, oh man, that was great. Hey, do you mind doing it one more time so that I can get a second take? And he was like, I don't really want to. I was like, okay. So yeah, that happens sometimes.
Funny.
He didn't get it.
Right.
Yeah, shut down like that. It hurts too.
He did it. Anyway.
Good guy.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Good guy.
It's
next. Last question.
Yes, this is the last question. Yeah, good. You're keeping up. All right, here we go.
I'm with you.
Nico Bloom. You guys know who Nico is, right? Don't embarrass yourselves. Oh my God.
Nico Bloom, is that that guy from Vimeo?
He's the tab guy.
The tab guy?
Yeah, the guy that does all
Wait.
the guitar tabs.
Cedar River?
Yeah, I figure you might know his other
That's his
there.
name?
That's fuck.
Oh.
Man.
His
love
real
you, Nico.
name is Nico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
right on. Good
Oh,
dude.
God.
Hell yeah,
He's
good
the
dude.
best. He does all the
Yeah.
ultimate guitar tabs.
All of them.
What a
All
crazy
of
guy.
Yeah,
And he
it's
plays
great.
good music too. So there you go. Check him out.
He does. He does.
Hell of a
Nico,
human.
he's asking, how do Gems on VHS and WesternAF differ from one another? Like, where are differences in recording techniques, audio recording in post, and so on? What do you guys think? How do we differ? What's the difference?
Man, I think we talked a little bit about like the audio recording part. Like Mike and I outsource a bunch of that stuff. You know, that might be one difference. I think, you know, the bigger scale, 30,000 foot view difference is that we're all independent artists doing the shit that makes us feel good. So I don't know how that practically translates to difference, but
Yeah.
inherently there would be some difference there because we're all following our sort of creative folly.
I would love to kind of go see how a Gems on VHS video is filmed.
Yeah, me too, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably pretty
Because that's something
similar.
we haven't been privy to. Well,
It probably ends up being that way, right?
But you know,
We should
like
ask the
I think there's
artist.
some. Ask the artist.
that's actually, yeah, that's what we should do.
That would be pretty funny. Should we do one of those experiments where we both like film the same artist and see what kind of different video we have out of it or something?
There was some reality show for a while that was like on MTV or
The
something.
Shot.
Yeah, where they
Yeah.
had photographers do, like, you get the same model in the same location, and then the challenge was who came up with the coolest shit.
That's what we should do.
I don't know. We should do it. Yeah, we should do it.
Filmmaking. No, I think
Yeah.
I use first of all I use the mini DV stuff sometimes, and I'm actually hoping that will make.
Right.
The reason I'm going to do that more is I'm hoping it'll differentiate my stuff a little bit. And
Sure.
then, yeah, I don't know. There's probably more of a difference in our personalities on set. It's probably more of like a. I think if Tim was still around, rest in peace. No, I'm just kidding. He's still alive. If he was still working with Gems on VHS, there would be definitely more of a difference in shooting technique because he brought a lot of different ideas to the table as far as like what he wanted to do, especially
Sure.
with lighting. Do you guys use lighting at all?
Sometimes, yeah.
Like only twice.
Yeah, on occasion we throw them in, but we really try to shape natural light mostly.
Same.
But my background is like in commercial photography, so lighting is sort of my comfort zone. But really, we just try to like find good light rather than make it. You know.
Yeah, I try to use. We got some lights, and Tim was way more in the lighting than I was, and I still use some.
He's good at it.
Yeah, he's good at it. But yeah, no. So as far as actual recording techniques, I don't think there probably is that much of a difference. Honestly, we even use some of the same gear, so it's like really not that different. I use some different cameras, and we use this Canon C70s. Although we used to use the same exact camera. I think you guys use Sony Alpha, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Which one is it?
The Sony A7R and Sony A7S series.
Yeah, see, I
that
definitely, some of the Gems videos have been those. Great camera for low light. We moved on to the A6500s, which were a little cheaper. So we just got two of those. And then now we've moved on to the Canon C70s, which, oh my God, like everything you could ever want in a camera. Definitely more of a documentary focus to them. Internal ND filters, plug the XLRs straight into the camera. So yeah, that was my cool. Yeah, I really wanted to be a one-man band kind of travel documentarian approach with it, so that's why I got those.
Sure.
And then yeah, I don't think other than that, like, difference. I don't know. I maybe I'm wrong, but I think I film more B-roll than you guys usually do, as far as like.
This is like this fucking story of our. Dude, I gotta tell you, Tony. Every
great.
time Mike is walking out the door, I say, "Shoot more fucking B-roll." Every time, and he comes back and he's like, "Hey, I forgot to shoot."
Hey, sorry, we headed
shoot.
out the door and went to go drink beers.
Yeah, and
Apologies.
It's all, like Yeah, when
the
I don't
extra
go to
content, man, is tough.
Yeah. On occasion, Mike scrambles and he's like, "Yeah, I got to drive back to that place because I got to go shoot some B-roll."
God, we were just
Yeah.
talking about how
But
like
you do good at it. You're good at it.
You're
for
great
sure.
at it, Tony.
It's a
I'm
tough thing
I'm
to do,
absolutely
man.
fucking terrible. Well, I was just talking about how I need to drive up to Bozeman before we release a video here in like 2 weeks.
Just to get
And he's
B-roll.
like, "Well, we can hire somebody." I'm like, "But I might have to do it because I feel bad."
Interesting.
No, trust me. I love the aesthetic of having extra B-roll that to like derive and put a story all together.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
I have a problem in my methods of trying to knock that out.
Well,
because
you know,
at
when you're
that
doing
time,
it all at once yourself, it's kind of
Right.
overwhelming, isn't it?
Well, I'm focused on the connection with the artist so
Yeah.
much that sometimes I'm forgetting to do that stuff. I
Yep.
just don't have it in my brain space sometimes to do that. But
Mm-hmm.
luckily, Brian's there, to be the other half of the brain.
Yeah, and
if not the other half of the heart. Ain't that right, baby?
Half the heart.
Half
No,
the
I
heart.
know what you mean. I think I was, for a long time, and for many of the videos, it's just me. And so I'm definitely thinking about the story the whole time. And I try to end up in situations where I'm telling a story, right? Like, that's the first step, is to, like, be in a place and a time where there's a story to be told, which isn't always the case. Sometimes the videos end up really boring story-wise, and we're just kind of leaning on the music, which isn't ideal. That's not what I'm trying to do. That's why I always turn down a lot of work where I'm like, no, I don't want to shoot it there because that's contrived. Like, I want to do it in your hometown, where you grew up or something, or like where is it somewhere important to you, and or like somewhere where the location has its own story. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, right.
I used to lean on Tim a lot because, yeah, somebody has to be talking to the artist, kind of making conversation, making everybody comfortable, getting the best performance, setting all the audio up, setting the video up. So it's nice when you have a
Right.
partner there to kind of do it and like get it all rocking while somebody else collects B-roll. So that's a good reason
Right.
to have
Yeah.
a second there. But yeah, I definitely focus a lot on the story. And then the second part of this question, how does your post-production look audio and video-wise? Do you book a mixing engineer for every track, or do you do this by yourself? How do you find the balance between perfectionism, aka putting too much time into a video, versus recording more artists?
So we do the tech for every video. Somebody to mix all of that stuff and make it sound, to sort of polish up our problems, our bad mic placement and stuff. And then our technique on avoiding perfectionism is that Mike does the editing and I do the like sort of gatekeeping on Mike entering the land of perfection, and sit behind him on the computer and say, "Mike, it's really good. It's time to stop changing everything. It's really good."
That's right.
I mean, it's for us, it's like a balance in our relationship. Without Mike's sort of like detail part, I'd be putting out stuff before it's ready. But sort of the combination seems to slow us down just enough.
Yeah.
And then I just try to keep Mike moving. But
Yeah, done is
that's
better
mostly
than
it
perfect.
for us. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, and sometimes, like the video we released 38 minutes ago, there was so much cool B-roll that we could have used in it, and we wanted to put it all in, so it's just a lot of conversations about like which shots should stay, like what's the story these shots are telling, and how do we decide not to use some. So
Yeah. Well, I've gotten really
probably
good at,
more time talking.
I've gotten really good at finishing the video, at least when I do decide to edit, and just like maintaining the mantra of like done is better than perfect. But for a long time, I was really unable to take my hands off the edit, which is also like the biggest holdup for me, time-wise, is like I'm editing too
Right.
much when I could be doing all the other stuff involved. Which, there's like tons
Right.
involved, so producing and making it all happen. So
Totally.
I actually,
Totally.
Tim was editing some, but yeah, now I'm working with my guy Reeve, and I've taught to edit from the ground up, and he's kind of being my right-hand man editing. So that's nice, and I'm hopefully going to get more done with him, because I have like a backlog of like, I mean, I could probably just edit, not shoot anything new for at least a year, if not more.
Yeah, we've kind of hit that too.
Yeah, so there's lots to do, but yeah, I don't like it. Just needs to be done. Usually, my first, like, I just need to bust through a first draft. Like, I just need to get it done, put the B-roll in there, make the story, make the video, get it done, and then like put it on the shelf and look at it again. And usually, a second draft. It's like, it's gonna be good no matter what. You know, everything I've learned, everything I've done, it's gonna be good. And trying to make it, a lot of the time it takes is just anxiety, sitting around thinking, oh man, there's so much here that could be done. It could be so good. And then I'll just get so anxious that I won't do anything. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's a very familiar spot for us.
Yeah, so that's something I'm trying to get better at. And I'm trying to just to get it done and just like put it out there, because people, you know, it's funny because you never know what's going to be a hit either. Like, it'll be something that I thought,
you have no idea.
I watched it and I'm like, oh, this isn't good. This isn't good enough. And the artist did great. It's like, I'm sure Mike is the same way, like hard on himself, like he always says. And like, I'm like, oh, this isn't good enough. This just is not good enough. And I'll put it out and suddenly it'll get 1 million views. And I'll be like, okay, didn't expect that, but people do not give a fuck. They're just like, they're just latched to it because they love it. It's just like, it works for them.
Right. Totally.
There's been a couple of videos like that, and I won't mention them all, but I will mention I will mention that when I shot Willie Carlisle's cheap cocaine video, there was this there was this attitude coming from me, thinking that I had failed Willie in doing that, and just having like a heart-to-heart with him, a one-on-one where he was like, "It's good enough," and I feel like I'm seen, and I feel like the song's being heard, and it's hilarious and fun. I really, really do gain a lot of confidence from the artist telling me that it's good enough, and even like Brian, like especially, has always been my best cheerleader, because I don't think he also doesn't think he's not going to put out crap, but there's sometimes for me to kind of like to shovel that shit out of my way to realize that there's a diamond at the bottom of it. So
well, that's interesting. I definitely would never let an artist tell me that it's good enough. Personally, I feel like, because I feel like artists their quality standards, at least for what I do, are still going to be much lower than mine. but I totally get that. It is good for somebody to be like, "Yo, this is really good. You're crazy." Like, or like what was really nice when Tim was working with me was I'd put the video up on Slack or where we work or whatever, and he'd watch it and give me feedback, and that helps a lot, especially with like seeing things and changing things that I didn't, or just helping me finish it out and make it better than it was.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and I have that connection with Brian too, where, I think there was a time in this stuff where I did kind of just go solo on it, but really I can't see myself right now without Brian like giving that final stamp of approval, because he knows his shit and he can see things that I can't.
Okay, Brian, I'm going to start sending you my videos so that you can approve them.
Cool, man. Just what I need.
More
I'm just kidding. Go for it. Go for it, man.
Perfect. See, Brian, I got you a job.
yeah. It
One step towards independence.
Brian, quality
control.
Quality control. I like that.
All right, you guys ready? Last question. Should we bust through this?
That's right. Let's do it.
Yay.
Bada bing. Nico Bloom, last question still. He submitted like 4 questions, so last question. Gems started uploading songs to Spotify. Is this planned for WesternAF as well? What's the deal, guys?
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah,
Dun,
man.
dun, dun.
I mean, I think a lot of people don't really know how much all of us talk to one another about this shit. Like the number of phone calls I had with Tim about like, what are you guys doing with Spotify? How's it going? What would you do differently? Like, we do that pretty freely back and forth on all this stuff. So yeah, I mean, we are aimed at some Spotify stuff. And we're just trying to, use your best practices that you've learned through experimentation. We're trying to take some of those and put them into play for us. But yeah, I mean, we're going to try to do it. We sort of feel like any way we can help an artist get more ears on their music is worth our energy. So we're going to dive in. When you get onto Spotify, as you know, Tony, you end up in all these like label conversations with like who owns what, who gets paid for what, and it's all like sort of separate from the artist part of things. So makes Spotify a little clunkier, but to get stuff up, but because then you're sort of directly competing with the label, but instead of the media value of YouTube. So we're a little slower on it, but we're trying to navigate it all and do cool stuff. So
Yeah, it just takes a lot of work.
yeah,
And people
yeah, that's right. Tons of conversations before one song posts, for sure.
And I think going off of what Brian said at the beginning, like I remember a ton of our conversations, like Tony, like you were definitely like a valued fucking ally when we first started doing this stuff, and
Hell yeah,
really appreciate you being so open about it, because you helped some nights of anxiety kind of digest pretty easily. So thanks again for all your help, brother.
No problem.
hell yeah, man.
It's all love. It's all community.
That's
it's
right.
not competition. It's just music.
Right.
Like it's music.
Right. Yeah, and I think in a lot of ways, like we're all independent folks. Trying to sort of like, we don't need to be split up. Like if folks start splitting us up, like, we're aimed at, the monster is something else. The monster is like, suits and ties in tall buildings, right? So
Absolutely.
like we have to be, like, I think maybe people miss sometimes that all of us are friends and we're all like, we're doing the same things and we're trying to help each other out, and we'll do anything we can to help the others out. And it feels, I think people inherently think that competition is the thing you do to get ahead. And it was, honestly, Mike and I kind of thought that's what we were going to get when we started. We had, 5,000 subscribers or something. And you all were just like open arms, like, so we're not going to forget that. Like we're,
Great guys.
you earned our good favor forever, right?
Just send my check to this address. No, it's definitely.
Yeah,
like
you got it, man. We'll just keep exchanging the same $5 bill back and forth for my quality control work.
I think I subscribed to WesternAF's Patreon.
You did. I think we
do.
subscribed to yours, like as everyone should do.
Yeah,
I think Tony
everybody
was the first
should.
one, though.
Yeah, you all might have been like very first subscribers though. So
Yeah.
So gracias.
also,
no
you
problem.
told us to start a Patreon, so you get more than
That's
just
right.
your subscriber credit here. So
That's
your
right.
check's in the mail, man.
I do. I love
yeah.
that. You guys should have. Everybody should have a Patreon. Everyone, literally,
That's right.
every person. Yeah. Anyway, that was all the questions. Do you guys have anything coming up that is exciting?
We've got a big release coming up. We partnered with a music festival a month ago, and have it's just going to be like a bulk release of cool shit. And we've got that music festival October 8th in Laramie, Wyoming. So that's, beyond sort of the normal day-to-day, week-to-week releases. That's the shit that's on my plate.
What are you doing October 8th, Tony?
Yeah, come hang out, man. Oh, he's going to be in Ireland.
I'll be in Ireland.
No, October 8th. Wait, October 8th? Bullshit.
Yeah.
I'll be there
Yeah, he
the
invited you
entire
to
month.
Ireland for this.
Yeah, but he
time.
didn't say what part of October.
He said the whole thing.
Okay, it says the whole
October
thing, but
1st.
what
See,
do you go? Okay.
Tony, this is why if you need Mike to go somewhere, just let me know, and I'll tell you what his calendar says, because the dude doesn't open his calendar.
No,
yeah,
I
mine
don't.
took a while to
Absolutely.
get this interview going. Interview? Of
course it did.
questionnaire going.
Should have called me, man.
Absolutely. And then when I related to Brian, I finally remembered to do this shit.
He told me about this, I don't know, 3 hours ago. So
This would be a good one, man. I think the patrons are going to love this. I hope you guys will post it on yours as well.
sure we will.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure we
I
will.
love everybody shitting on Mike Day.
Every day is a good one.
Every day's a
Cool.
good day when you shit on Mike Day.
Well, that's cool, guys. I'm glad you guys are getting a festival going.
Yeah, we're gonna sure give it a
It's
shot.
it's a showcase.
A showcase.
It's
yeah.
a showcase.
It's an evening of music.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm calling my house shows festivals.
There you go. Hell yeah.
Everything's a festival.
So we're all festival promoters now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll end up with 7 artists, maybe something
Buy
like that.
tickets.
Buy the tickets.
When do the tickets
Take
go
the
live?
survive? That's a good question.
Probably next week.
Yeah,
Are
real
people
soon.
We're just,
from Tennessee going to be able to like go up there and have a good time?
I mean, they should. Yeah, they should do that.
If you want to be in a state with 500,000 people and 2 escalators, yeah, you'll have a great time.
Are you going to be able
It's
to?
great.
Do you guys have like Airbnbs that are nearby the spot
Yeah,
that
oh,
you're doing it?
Oh yeah, man.
Really
yeah.
cool ones?
Yeah, totally.
Cancel your trip to Ireland, Tony. Get here.
Come visit us.
I'm just telling everybody else.
Yeah. Come here. It's not 1800s Wild West. There are 0 horses in town.
That's
Okay.
not true.
That's got to be true. There's no horses in town.
There are horses in fucking town.
You know what town sucks?
Well, this is a point of contention here. I can't wait to hear this. This is like people are actively unsubscribing.
Yeah,
in 5, 4,
Cheyenne,
3, 2.
Wyoming is a shitty town.
No comment. My identical twin brother lives in Cheyenne, so I can't shit talk.
Tony, are you trying to get into a fight?
Wait,
with us?
actually, Tony, one of the first videos I saw of yours was Ben playing on the train to Cheyenne.
I know,
And I
yeah.
thought, holy shit, this is fucking
and it's
cool.
one of your hottest videos, so it looks
I
like
know.
Cheyenne made you, baby.
Yeah, man. Maybe you owe a debt of gratitude to Cheyenne.
Look, Cheyenne
was,
ain't my
bad
it ain't
time.
my kind of party either.
A bad time.
We were there.
I've heard some stories about your Cheyenne trips, but
Yeah. Anyway.
yeah, man, it's different than Laramie. It's different than where we're at.
Yeah, I
so
had to test it out.
folks should
but
c-
I like
should-
that Mexican
yeah, you
restaurant
gotta-
in Wyoming, Cheyenne, Wyoming. It was pretty good. 24/7.
Yeah.
There you go. What more could you want?
Yeah.
all
Anyway,
you need.
guys, what's cool? Oh, what am I doing? Well, I'm
Yeah.
going to Ireland all of October to research folk music and have Guinness. And and I'm gonna put more music out on Spotify. I'm hoping we got Todd DeWaite
Cool.
coming out soon. Todd has never had music on Spotify on streaming. He's wanted to for a long time, but he just didn't know how. So we helped him out, and we're
Cool.
we're putting him on there, putting him on the map. And other
Good.
than that, we're just gonna keep releasing songs. We've been doing a lot on Discord lately. Just like building this community, man. Building a community of songwriters, like all these nice people who play music and want to learn from each other and create like a network of, just experience and good memes. So that has been fun. I do like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Same stuff, different day. Make
That's
some
awesome.
documentaries,
That's right.
hopefully.
Cool.
Oh, releasing Alan Lomax, an interview with John Lomax III, and
Oh, hit.
That's cool.
yeah, definitely doing that soon. Gonna release that, and hopefully just doing more stuff like that.
Well,
Can't wait.
Your tenacity, Tony, is unmatched, dude. You do awesome shit.
You do.
Thank you.
And you're nice while you do it, which is even better.
And you smell great.
You guys are nice too. I don't smell that great, but thank you.
Neither does Mike's. Same clothes,
Mike.
different day over here.
Because I drink PBR and wear Crocs.
Jesus Christ.